You ever feel like you're doing everything right? Reading books, watching videos like this, journaling, setting goals, and yet nothing's changing. You're still stuck in the same patterns, still procrastinating, still doubting yourself, still wondering why it feels like you're spinning your wheels while everyone else is flying past you. Here's the uncomfortable truth. You're not improving because you don't truly know what's holding you back. Most people confuse activity with progress. They feel productive, but they're actually just busy. Reading 50 self-help books doesn't matter if you're using them to avoid doing the real work. Watching hours of motivational content is useless if you never act on it. The scary part: this can go on for years. You might be self-improving your way into a life that feels good on paper, but empty in real life. Like you're chasing growth, but growing nowhere. So, what's the fix? What's the one shift that flips everything? That's what we're breaking down today. Not just the symptoms, but the real root causes that keep people stuck. And more importantly, how to escape the loop fast with simple, real-world strategies. Stick around. This might be the video that finally changes how you grow forever. Most people think they're stuck because they lack motivation, or discipline, or the right strategy. But the real reason? They've built an identity that's allergic to change. If deep down you believe you're lazy, or that you always quit, or that success is for other people, then guess what? Every action you take will be filtered through that identity. You'll self-sabotage without realizing it. Not because you want to fail, but because failing feels familiar. You might set goals, but your subconscious is already planning your escape route. Because growth threatens who you've been, and your brain would rather be consistent than courageous. That identity. It was built over years, through micro-failures, negative self-talk, broken promises. Every time you said, "I'll start Monday," and didn't, your brain took notes. Every time you skipped the gym or chose comfort over commitment, your mind built a narrative. This is who I am. So now, when you try to grow, it feels fake. Like you're pretending to be someone you're not. That's why habits don't stick. That's why progress collapses. Another reason you're not improving. You're doing too much at once. People try to change everything overnight. Wake up at 5 a.m., cold showers, 10 habits, gym routine, and 2 days later, they crash. Not because they're weak, but because they're human. The nervous system gets overwhelmed. Willpower drains. Then the shame spiral starts again. Improvement isn't a leap, it's a staircase. And if the first step is too high, you'll never climb it. Start smaller than you think. A 2-minute habit done daily beats a perfect habit done once a month. Third, you're chasing outcomes instead of building systems. You want a six-pack, more money, better focus, but haven't built a process to consistently move in that direction. Outcomes are sexy, but systems make them possible. Goals don't change your life, habits do. Finally, and this one hurts, you're not bored enough. A distracted mind can't improve. If every moment is filled with TikTok, Netflix, or noise, your brain never sits still long enough to realize what needs to change. Growth needs space. Intentional, quiet time to reflect. Boredom isn't your enemy. It's the doorway to clarity. There's a moment when everything shifts. For me, it happened in the most ordinary way possible. I was staring at my to-do list one night, 100 unchecked tasks, and I felt that familiar weight. I'll never catch up. That voice in my head was loud. You're just not disciplined enough. And honestly, I believed it. I had years of evidence that I couldn't stick with anything. But then I noticed something. I wasn't failing because the goals were impossible. I was failing because the goals weren't mine. I was copying what I thought successful people did. Their routines, their habits, their lives. No wonder I couldn't stick with it. It wasn't me. That night, I did something different. I closed my notebook, picked one thing, and made it so small it was impossible to fail. Just 2 push-ups. That was it. And here's the breakthrough. The next morning, I actually did it. 2 push-ups. Then the next day, 3. It wasn't impressive, but it was mine. And suddenly, for the first time in years, I felt momentum. That tiny wind cracked the door open. See, the secret isn't massive action, it's proof. Every time you follow through, even in the tiniest way, you send your brain new evidence. I can trust myself. That's the real shift. Not motivation, not hype. Self-trust. When you realize this, growth stops feeling fake. It becomes natural. Because now, your identity changes. You're no longer the person who quits. You're someone who keeps promises, even small ones. And once that belief takes root, everything else becomes possible. Suddenly, you're not chasing improvement. You're becoming the kind of person who improves automatically. That's when I realized change isn't about force. It's about proving to yourself one tiny step at a time that you are capable of becoming someone new. Here's the truth. You can't fix what you don't measure. Most people feel stuck because they never stop to audit their lives. They chase new habits without asking, what's actually holding me back? The fix starts with awareness. For 1 week, track your time, your energy, and your choices. Write down where your hours go, when you feel sharp and when you feel drained. Patterns will jump out. Improvement doesn't begin with adding more. It begins with noticing what's silently stealing your growth. Awareness is the map. Without it, you're running in circles. So if you feel stuck, remember this. You're not broken and you're not lazy. You're just misaligned. The problem isn't a lack of effort. It's trying to build change on a shaky foundation. Audit your habits. Cut the noise. Start small. Prove to yourself day by day that you can be trusted. That shift in identity will do more than any hack, book, or morning routine. And if this video gave you clarity, hit subscribe and like. Because your next breakthrough might be one video away, and I want you here for it.